Hi, I am Heather, and welcome to my jungle yoga studio. I'm filming this course from my home here in magical Costa Rica. So as you listen to the videos and watch the courses, you may hear some fun jungle noises in the background. Here, right around us, we have monkeys, we have toucans, we have all kinds of tropical birds, butterflies, hummingbirds, etc. So become one with some of this background noise if you hear it during the class. And I'm here looking out at the ocean and papaya trees and pineapples and palm trees. So this will be a little breath of Pura Vida, Costa Rica lifestyle into your days. So without further ado, we will begin our first asana class. Coming to a seated position on your mat. And I invite you now to close your eyes and start to pay attention of the connection with your hips and your sit bones on the earth. And feel the earth supporting you, allowing your shoulders to drop down, relaxing, resting on your rib cage. And bring your awareness into the present moment. The theme of this class today will be presence. All too often, it's easy to get caught up in the past and the future and wondering and worrying about things that are in either of those places. And yoga really is a lot about being present with whatever is in this moment and knowing that it's temporary and enjoying it because it is temporary. So our theme for today will be presence. Presence with our breath, presence with our body, presence with whatever might be going through our head at the time, and really finding ourselves melting our focus from all of these external things into our body and our breath and what we're doing in this moment. So I invite you with your eyes closed to start to notice your breath. And we'll do a simple pranayama, cyclical breathing, inhaling slowly through your nose for a count of 4, holding at the breath, at the top of the breath for 2, and slowly exhaling for a count of 4. And breathing again, inhaling for 4, holding for 2 at the top of the breath, exhaling for 4, holding there for 2, and inhaling. So you're really smoothing out that transition between inhalation and exhalation, and your focus is narrowing down to the simple act of pranayama, breath control. Our breath is our life force. It's our yes to life. It's our way of controlling oxygen and blood flow and inspiration that comes into our body, and our way of controlling the exit of all that no longer serves us. And as you melt into this breathing pattern, begin to set the intention of presence. Presence with whatever is going on in your body, whatever is going on with your breath. And ideally taking this sense of presence with you throughout your day. And you can open your eyes. And we'll start with a nice deep inhalation, reaching arms up over your head, gazing up at the sky. And exhale, coming straight forward, hands on the earth. And we'll send gratitude and appreciation to the earth, to the ground that supports us throughout our practice, the earth that grows our food, nourishes us, and sending a simple prayer and gratitude to the earth. And rising up, coming to center, and we'll slowly transition onto hands and knees and into a nice cat-cow. So allowing your rib cage to drop, gaze lifts, arch back, looking up. And gaze drops, tailbone curls under, and your mid-back presses up towards the sky. Rib cage drops, gaze lifts, arch and back. And gaze drops, tailbone curls under, and your mid-back presses up to the sky. And now finding your own flow with this, being present with your own rhythm. Transitioning gracefully from cat to cow. Breathing that fluidity and that wave-like motion into your spine. Linking movement with breath. And breathing ease and fluidity into any areas that feel tight or stuck. And coming to tabletop position, curling your toes under and pressing to down dog. Your chest presses towards your thighs. Fingertips are spread. And try bending your knees slightly and then straightening. Nice deep breaths here. Planting that left foot down, right toes floating up to the sky. Pausing here as your left heel sinks towards the earth. Nice deep, slow breaths. Allowing that right knee to bend, toes dropping towards the left, so you open up your hip, continuing to press both hands into the earth, and breathing into your hip, your legs. Straightening that right foot, and bringing it forward, stepping into a low lunge, coming down on your back leg, pointing your back toe, and hands coming up onto your front knee. So squaring your hips and your shoulders both straight forward, hands on your thigh, and your hips drop down and forward. Breathing deeply and exhaling completely. Inhaling your arms up over your head, palms facing one another as you sink down towards the earth. And staying here if you're comfortable, or if you would like additional challenge today, you can come up to a high crescent lunge, coming up onto your back toes and rising up, coming to crescent. Allowing hips to sink down and fingertips to rise up to the sky, opening through the front of your hip joint. And we'll release down, hands on that thigh, coming down back into a low lunge. And then we'll come forward, placing both hands down on either side of your foot and coming up onto your back toe. Bringing both hands towards the left of that foot and coming down onto your elbows. Breathing deeply and finding that openness in your legs and hips. Hands on either side of your foot and gracefully coming back to down dog once again. Heel toeing your feet. And this time planting right foot, left toes float to the sky, and breathing length into your legs. Allowing that left knee to bend, and dropping your toes a bit over to the right, opening through your hip, and continuing to press your hands down into the earth. Nice deep breaths. Straightening your leg, and we'll step forward into a low lunge. Coming down on your back leg, back toe pointed, hands to thigh, and hips sinking down and forward. Bringing breath into the front of your hip joint. Your chest remains open, heart lifted. Nice, deep, easy breaths. Inhaling, arms up over your head, palms together, fingertips reaching up as hips sink down and forward. And we'll bring hands down to that thigh. If you would like additional challenge today, we will rise up into high crescent lunge. Finding that strength and stability in your legs. Breathing deeply. Exhaling completely. And feeling that power in your legs. Shoulders resting. Fingertips reaching up to the sky. And hands return to your thigh. Coming back to low lunge. Back toe pointing. And we'll bring both hands down to the earth. Pressing back up onto your back toe. Opening your hip even further. And now we'll bring both hands over to the right of that foot and come down onto our elbows. Feeling that openness in your hips. And placing hands on opposite sides of that foot, pressing back once again into down dog, heel toeing your feet. And we'll walk hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. Slight bend in your knees here. So just stay here, clasping hands to elbows, and allow yourself to relax completely into a gentle forward fold. Your head and neck and shoulders are relaxed.
And you can have that slight bend in your knees. Releasing your hands, slight bend in your knees, and we'll roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, differentiating each part of your spine. Rolling up, stacking your rib cage, your shoulders, your neck and head, so you come all the way up into standing pose. From here, we'll come into mountain pose. So feet are hip distance apart, toes are facing straight forward, and you're externally rotating your shoulders, palms straight forward, and feel that expansion and width across the front of your chest here. And the top of your head is reaching up towards the sky gently, feeling that length and multi-directional expansion in your spine. And resting here for a moment in mountain pose, feeling that strength and stability of our feet and legs supporting us on the earth. And we'll inhale, arms up, coming into half moon, clasping hands, and side bend to the left, engaging your core, finding that strength, that stability in your core, and pressing both feet into the earth. As you're here, you should feel a nice stretch on that whole side of your body. And as you breathe, it's like you're bringing fresh breath, fresh air into the space between each rib. And you're drawing your rib cage out away from your hips, nice and long. On the next inhalation, rising to center using your core, passing that midline, and we'll side bend over to the other side. Pulling your rib cage up away from your hips, breathing into the side, your ribs, and pressing both feet into the earth. Engaging your core, rising to center, and releasing your hands, bringing them down, clasping them behind your hips, arching back, heart lifts to the sky, and hands press down towards the earth. Taking a moment here to open your shoulders. And then we'll forward fold here, flat back, bringing arms up over your head. You can have a slight bend in your knees if that's more comfortable. And just resting here, opening your shoulders. Releasing your hands, clasping hands to elbows, resting in a forward fold. And releasing elbows, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way up, stacking your spine, shoulders, and chest, and returning to mountain pose. Inhaling, arms straight out to shoulder height. And we'll bend that right arm back behind us, pressing the elbow down, and feeling that hand to go back, down your back, opening your shoulder. Continuing to breathe deeply. Feet are grounded into the earth. Your spine is long. Breathing into your shoulder. Releasing hands, floating arms out to opposite sides. And this time, stretching left arm back. And pressing your elbow down. Breathing into this shoulder. Slow, steady breaths. And tuning in with what's present in your body right now. Any sensations, increase in body temperature, warmth, stretching. And just becoming aware of whatever is, being present with it, honoring wherever your body is today. And inhale, reaching arms straight out to the sides. And really stretch both fingertips out as if your arms are really reaching in opposite directions. So you're finding that length across the front of your chest and also in between your shoulder blades and back. And from here, we're going to come to eagle arms. So we'll cross left arm over right, wrapping around, palms together, and pressing your elbows together. Nice deep breaths into that tight space between your shoulder blades, your upper neck, upper back. Arms pressing together. And see if you can lift your elbows slightly. Nice, slow, steady breaths. And with each exhalation, you'll notice melting a bit deeper into the stretch, releasing resistance, releasing strain. And letting go, arms floating out to the sides, big stretch. And then crossing right over left, opposite side, eagle arms. Lifting elbows slightly and breathing into that space between your shoulder blades, your upper and mid back, wherever you feel any tension, any strain. Allowing it to melt away with each exhalation. And releasing your arms, floating them out to the side, reaching up over your head, and coming back to mountain pose. From here, we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. So your feet should be about 2 to 3 feet apart. The outside edges of your feet should be parallel to the outsides of the mat. We'll start with hands on hips, leading with your chest, forward fold, coming down and forward, flat back. And just pausing here wherever you're comfortable while maintaining a flat back. Think of lifting your sit bones and straightening the backs of your legs. And then whenever you're ready, you may place your hands down on the ground in front of you. And you might feel if it's hard to reach the ground, it might be easier actually if you widen your stance a bit, and then you can sink down even further. Nice, slow, steady breathing here. Turning your fingertips back towards your heels and walking your hands back in between your legs, chest sinking further towards the earth. And coming back up, rising up to center, and heel-toeing your feet back together into mountain pose. From here, we'll come into chair. So your feet, again, are hip-width apart, knees facing straight forward, inhaling your arms up to a 45-degree angle, and sitting back as if you're sitting in a chair. Chest is lifted, knees are bent at about a 90-degree angle, and feeling that strength and power in your legs. Bringing your hands into prayer position. And we'll prayer twist to the left, crossing elbow over knee, and looking back over your shoulder. Returning to center. And prayer twist, other side, elbow to knee, and looking over your shoulder. Nice spinal twist here. Coming back to center and rising up to standing. Inhaling your arms up over your head, arching back, and exhaling down, arms at your sides. We'll return to a wide stance here. Feet again about 2 to 3 feet apart. And we'll come into triangle pose. So turning those left toes out 90 degrees, right toes facing straight forward. Inhaling your arms up to shoulder height. And then you'll slide your rib cage out, 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 out over that toe. And then coming down, bringing your hand down wherever is comfortable for you today. It could be your calf, your ankle, or the floor. And reaching those right fingertips straight up to the sky. Nice deep breaths here. Relaxing into triangle. Feeling that stretch in your legs and your back. Being present with any sensations in your body. Rising back up to center. And inhaling both arms out. Shoulder height. And from here we'll sink into warrior two on that same side. Bending that knee. And your gaze is over your front fingertips. That left thigh aims to be parallel with the earth. And you're pressing down through that outside edge of your right foot. Nice deep breaths here. Powerful warrior two. And from here, we'll rise to peaceful warrior. Right hand, right leg, sliding down. Left fingertips reaching up and over. Breathing deeply and sinking a bit deeper into the stretch. You'll feel that length and stretch on the side of your rib cage. And an activation in your front bent leg. Floating back up, warrior two, sinking a bit deeper. And straightening both legs. And we'll slide once again into triangle on this same side. Coming down, hand to leg, and back to triangle. Nice deep breaths here. Rising back up, both hands to hips, turning both toes forward, and then turning your right toes out, 90 degrees. Arms floating up to shoulder height, and we'll slide into triangle on this side. Rib cage reaching out and coming down to wherever's comfortable for you today. Nice deep breaths. And tuning into any sensations that are with you in this present moment. Warmth, feel your breath, any stretches. Being present with what is. And from here we'll rise up, arms shoulder height, and sink into warrior two. Breathing deeply, sinking down, checking in with your torso. If you're leaning forward, come back up, make sure your torso is nice and straight. Weight should be about even between front and back foot. We'll rise into peaceful warrior, left hand, left leg, right fingertips reaching up and over, sinking down.
Breathing deeply here as you feel that strength and power in your legs, that length on the side of your body. Floating up, warrior two, sinking deeper. And rising up, both legs straight, sliding once again into triangle. You may find it's easier, and you can get a bit deeper the second time around. And noticing that yoga is a practice. Every day is different, our bodies are different. So just accepting what is, breathing into the discomfort, and being present with our bodies. Floating back up to center, turning both toes forward, clasping hands behind your hips, and forward fold, bringing your arms up over your head. Nice stretch here in your legs. Releasing your hands, placing them on the mat. Walking over towards your left foot and rotating, coming back into down dog. Chest presses to thighs. And heel toeing your feet. And here we'll come forward onto our hands and knees. And then down onto our bellies. Both hands straight out in front of you. And we'll lift right arm, left leg. Lifting up, reaching forward. Continuing to breathe deeply. Activating those muscles in your back. Coming down. And changing sides. Lift and lengthen. And returning down. Bringing your hands next to your shoulders. And rising up into a baby cobra. Using the muscles in your back. And then pressing up into cobra. Using your hands. Release. Coming down and pressing back into child pose. Fingertips reaching forward, hips sinking down to the earth. And we'll come forward, this time coming into a plank, really activating our core. So coming onto your elbows, making a triangle with your elbows and your hands, and then rising up onto your toes. So your body should be straight. If your hips are way up like that, think of bringing them down so everything's level, like a plank. If this feels too challenging, you could try coming onto your knees. So whatever works for your body today. Nice deep breaths here in plank. And then release, pressing back once again into child pose. We'll come up, pressing into down dog, planting your left foot, right toes float to the sky, and that right foot will come forward as we go into pigeon. Back toe is pointed, hips and shoulders squared straight forward. And once you're comfortable here, you can remain where you are, or if you like, you can walk forward onto your elbows. Nice, comfortable pigeon pose. Feeling that stretch and openness in your hip. Breathing deeply and exhaling completely as you rest into the pose. Walking your hands back up towards your hip. Lifting your chest. Heart rises up to the sky. Slight arch back here. Taking a couple rounds of breath. And then curling that back toe under. Pressing back into down dog. Heel toeing your feet. And planting your right foot. Left toes float to the sky. And left leg comes forward into pigeon on this side. Taking a moment to set your foundation. Your shoulders facing straight forward over this narrow edge of the mat. And your hip bones as well, straight forward. You can stay here. Or if you like, you can come down onto your elbows. Nice deep breaths here. Really breathing fresh oxygen, fresh energy into your hip, into your legs. Nice deep breaths. And walking your hands back towards your hips. Heart lifts, gaze lifts, slight arch back, activating your legs, your low back. And from here, pressing back once again, down dog, heel toeing your feet. And coming down onto your hands and knees, shifting to sitting, and bringing the soles of your feet together. Take a moment to tune in with those sit bones. Make sure they're supporting you on the earth, so avoid falling backwards, really leaning forward so you're sitting on your sit bones, soles of your feet together. And from here, I invite you to reach forward, leading with your heart, bending forward. It's as if your chest and your heart is reaching out beyond your toes to the space in front of you on the earth. So bending forward. Nice deep breaths here. Feeling that openness in your hips. And rising back up to center. You're going to have your right knee facing straight forward, crossing your left foot over, and take a moment to build that foundation. So both sit bones again are on the earth. Your weight should be even between both sides. So if you find you're falling over to one side, check in and make sure your weight is even side to side. And then gently hugging that knee into your chest. Nice stretch in your hip, your low back. Planting that foot on the earth. Breathing deeply. And exhaling completely. From here, we'll come into a spinal twist. So inhaling that left arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, twisting back behind you, placing it on the earth behind you. And then using that front elbow across your knee to spinal twist. Gaze back over your shoulder. And here in this spinal twist, you're thinking of lengthening as you twist. So avoid collapsing into the pose. You're lengthening and lifting as you twist. Breathing deeply into your back, into your spine. Slow and steady breathing. With each exhalation, see if you can twist a little further. And slowly unwind. You'll cross the midline, come down to the opposite side, and gently touch the mat with your forehead, unwinding your spine and feeling that fresh flow of oxygen, that blood flow in your back and your organs, and rising up. So gracefully we will change sides. Left knee forward, right foot crossing over. Both hips grounded on the earth. Nice, solid, stable foundation. And from there, hugging knee to chest. Nice, deep breaths here. And you'll feel that stretch in your hip, perhaps your low back. And melting into that stretch for a few breaths. Feeling that nice, juicy stretch in your hips. Spine stays long and lifted. And we'll come into our spinal twist. So that right arm reaches up to the sky. And exhale, bring it down behind you. Spinal twist. And use that left elbow for leverage as you twist even further. Lifting and lengthening as you twist. Spinal twists are excellent for detoxification. They really wring out all of your digestive system, your organs, removing the toxins, and then allow fresh oxygen and fresh blood flow to fill them when you untwist. Several more rounds of breath here. Continuing to breathe deeply. Enjoy the lengthening as you twist. And slowly unwind, crossing the midline and coming down to the left, allowing your forehead to gently touch the mat. Feeling that fresh flow of oxygen and blood flow in your spine, in your digestive system. And then rising up, gently rolling onto your back. Start by drawing your knees towards your chest, rocking back and forth. And allowing your head, your neck, your shoulders to relax and feel fully supported by the earth. Nice, slow, deep breaths here. Placing both feet flat and knees bent. Hands at your sides. We'll rise up into bridge, pressing heels down and hips reaching towards the sky. Once you're here, clasping hands behind your hips, sliding arms together. Your shoulders come together, your elbows, so they really support your chest, support your upper body. Nice, slow, steady breathing. Feeling that strength in your legs, your hips, your low back. Releasing your hands and rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way down. Letting yourself relax and drawing knees to chest, rocking back and forth, side to side. letting your low back relax. And from here we'll come to happy baby, clasping the soles of your feet and drawing your knees down and out to the outside, feeling that openness across your sacrum and your low back. Nice, slow, steady breathing. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. And releasing your hands, coming down. And you'll cross your right leg over your left, stacking your knees. Arms go straight out to your sides. And we'll allow both legs to drop over to the right. Nice spinal twist here. And your gaze floats over to the left. Feeling a gentle twist in your spine and your hips. Breathing deeply and exhaling completely. From here, engaging your core, drawing your knees back up to center, both feet flat, knees bent, and we'll cross left over right, knees dropping over to the left, and gaze over your right fingertips this time. Nice, slow, steady breathing. Feeling that gentle stretch in your hips, your low back, your spine. Floating back up to center, drawing both knees into your chest, rocking back and forth, and then relaxing into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Palms to the sky, sliding your shoulders away from your ears so your neck is long, feeling that openness across your chest, closing your eyes, and allowing yourself to be present with this relaxation in Shavasana. So remaining there in Shavasana, awareness returns to breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. Allowing your toes to relax, your feet to relax. Feeling that relaxation moving up your calves, your knees, your thighs. Allowing your hips to relax. Relaxing low back and belly, abdomen. Allowing your rib cage to relax. Your shoulders sinking down to the earth. Relaxing chest, neck, and shoulders. Feeling that ease, relaxation, moving down your arms to your elbows, forearms, wrists and hands. Your arms are completely relaxed. And feeling the relaxation traveling up your neck, into your head, your jaw, your cheeks. Your entire face is completely relaxed. Feeling your breath washing over you like a wave. filling every cell in your body with healing oxygen and blood flow. And exhaling any resistance and anything that no longer serves you as you relax and melt into this present moment. Breathing deeply and exhaling completely. And when you're ready, rolling onto your side, you can keep your eyes closed, slowly making your way up to sitting cross-legged, hands on your knees. Awareness returns to breath, tuning back in with that count of 4, inhaling and exhaling. Bringing your hands into prayer in front of your heart and really noticing what's true for you in this present moment. Perhaps more ease, more sense of circulation and blood flow, self-love, inner peace. Noticing every aspect of this present moment. Perhaps the sound of the birds, the feeling of the air on your skin, the sounds and sensations around you, and the sensations within your body. Physical, emotional, whatever is there, just being present with it. And on the next round of breath, setting the intention to create more present moment awareness throughout your day, allowing your focus and concentration to be more on what is and less on things that are out of our control at the moment. Breathing in love, self-acceptance, and abundance, and exhaling anything that no longer serves our highest good. Namaste.